Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you are doing well, and today I've got episode 12 of my Make Your Own Card Game Showcase, and this time I'm going to be showing off the Psychic and Spellcaster characters. Now, Spellcasters I haven't shown off yet, but Psychics I have shown a few in previous episodes. In fact, in the last episode I recorded, I've showed off these two characters, Matt and Subaru, who, in addition to their hero subtype, also have the psychic subtype. So you're going to see a few more of these psychics coming up. And starting off, I have Vincent Vesuvius, who is a 4-cost psychic, 1 attack, 5 defense. Now, about the artwork on him, he was actually from a sketch I just ended up doodling one day, and I ended up liking the character so much I decided to put him in the game here. And his ability is pretty interesting too. It's Psychic Lock. It's an automatic ability that states, abilities on characters that opponents activate costs 1 more power to activate, and auto, on-play, and keyword abilities are unaffected. So what does that mean? Well, let's take one card I've shown off previously, Subaru here. And if you wanted to activate his Stealth Walk ability while your opponent had Vincent Vesuvius in play, you would have to pay an extra power to activate it, so it would cost you 4 power instead of 3. And abilities like Evasive on Matt here would be unaffected. And so that's basically how Vincent here would work in the game. Next, we have Enoch, who is the first of the 2 Psychic brothers. The other one I'll be showing in a minute. And he's a 3-cost, 0 attack, 4 defense Psychic with the ability Psychic Control, which states that the power cost of your opponent's normal action cards is increased by 1. So if your opponent wants to play a normal action card, they're going to have to pay some extra power to do it. It can be pretty devastating. Next is the other Psychic brother, and that's Scion here. 6 cost, 2 attack, 8 defense. Then he has 2 abilities. His Read Ahead ability activates when you play him. You just get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and rearrange them in any order, and that's pretty good. And then you have Mind Crush, which is a 2-power ability, which states that you discard the top card of your opponent's deck. And notably, this isn't a once per turn effect, so you could, in theory, pay up to 10 power to discard the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck. I actually made a deck tech video earlier showing how you can build a deck around him. So I'll probably provide a link to that in the description so you can check it out. Up next is Kyle, who is a more offensive-minded psychic character. 5 costs, 4 attack, 4 defense, and his Red Eye ability states that when you play him, this character gets plus 4 attack until the end of the turn. So on the turn you play him, he's an 8/4, but after that, he's just a 4/4. So if you really want to attack with him, you'll have to do it on the turn you play him. Next is Fuya, who is a Solarian psychic, 1 cost, 1 attack, 1 defense, and her clairvoyance ability costs 1 power to use. Once per turn, you get to look at the top card of your deck, and you may choose to put that card on the top or bottom of your deck. So it gets you you can kind of choose a little bit what kind of card you're drawing next. Up next is the Fortune Teller, a 2-cost, 2 attack, 3 defense psychic, who also has the clairvoyance ability, but hers is a little different. It's an automatic ability which says this character may use the activated abilities of any in-play character. So those would be abilities you'd have to choose to activate, like Fuya's clairvoyance here. But it wouldn't affect abilities like on-play effects like Scion's Read Ahead. And I do like the flavor text on this, which is just kind of funny. It states, for $20, she'll see your fortune, and for another $20, she'll tell you what she saw. It's just kind of hilarious to me. Up next, we start with the Spellcasters. Not a whole lot of them, but I still want to show them off. Starting with the Wizard, 4 costs, 1 attack, 6 defense. And he has 2 abilities. The first is Flame Tongue, which costs 3 power to use, but it makes his attack become 6 until end of turn. So his base attack here would be, instead of being 1, would be 6 for the turn. And then you have Cone of Cold, which is a 5 power ability. You get to knock out a character with 2 defense or less, Then you get to choose one of your opponent's remaining characters, and that character is unable to attack on its owner's next turn. This does end your turn upon using it, but it can be a pretty powerful effect. Next is the Necromancer, 4 costs, 2 attack, 5 defense spellcaster, also with 2 abilities. Its life drains costs 0 power to use, but you discard one of your other characters from your hand to use it, and then you gain 5 life points. I think I did adjust the text on these abilities to state that you can only use them once per turn on untap, but I don't have them here, but I think that's what they are on untap. So if you do play with these cards online, that's what they're supposed to say. And then the second ability, Black Sacrament, costs 2 power to use, and you also discard a character from your hand. And then you get to add its attack value to this character until end of turn. So you just discard a character, you get the attack value of it. So if you discarded Kyle, for instance, here, instead of being 2 attack, you would gain 4 more, and Necromancer would become a 6/5 until end of turn. So that's pretty nice. Also, any character with some good discard synergies would love to have this in their deck. Next is Red Mage, a 5 cost spellcaster, 5 attack, 4 defense. He has a Flame Tongue ability like the Wizard, but it's slightly different. It's 3 power, and it allows the character to gain +4 attack until the end of the turn. So that's pretty nice. He also has Cure, which for 2 power allows you to gain 3 life once per turn. So another way to gain some life if you wanted. Up next is the Priest, who's an 8 cost, 6 attack, 10 defense spellcaster, who, like the previous card, Red Mage, also has the Cure ability, which has the same text and same power. 2 power, and once per turn you gain 3 life. And then he has the Life spell, which is also pretty interesting. For 9 power, you get to put a character from your discard pile into play, though you can't use the ability on the same turn you put this into play. But this does help you get a nice character back and allows you to cheat something else into play, which is pretty nice. Up next are finally I've got the 2 Archmages here, the Light Archmage and the Dark Archmage. Both have 10 cost, but slightly different stat lines. Starting with the Light Archmage, it has 8 attack and 12 defense, as well as the Taunt ability, meaning opposing characters may only attack this, and this is actually the highest defense of any Taunt character in the game. And it also has the Cure ability, which allows you to pay 4 power to gain 6 life once per turn, which is a nice icing on the cake. And then there's the Dark Archmage, 10 attack, 10 defense. With his Flame Tongue ability, you pay 5 power to give him +4 attack until end of turn. So that's already pretty good, but self-sacrifice is even better, which allows you to pay X life points +1. Once per turn, it allows you to play a character with power cost X from your hand. So instead of paying its power cost, you can pay a certain amount of life +1 to put it into play instead. Though X cannot be higher than 7, so you won't be able to put the most expensive things into play, but it's still pretty good to get around power costs, in my opinion. And that about does it for this round of characters. Thank you so much again for watching. Definitely throw me a like if you enjoyed, and as always, tell me what your favorite character among these is in the comments below. I'll see you in whatever video I upload next, and take care.